Let's just see who's here. Oh. Hello? Yes, come in.
Hello.
This is Nova and this is Reva. Let's just close this because it's really hot out there.
It is quite warm.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I've definitely been
Been
better.
better?
Yeah.
What's been
Absolutely.
going on?
Have you not read the reports?
Well, we have you're from the Gold Coast or something, I
Yes.
believe.
Yeah, I'm escaping a domestic violence situation.
Okay. What's happened with that situation?
What do you mean?
Well, we obviously don't. We haven't spoken to your ex-partner or partner.
Okay,
So
I
we don't. We're
I
obviously
attempted to put it
aware.
on record at the weekend.
Right.
I wasn't very successful.
Okay.
The police visited my property, I think 2 days later.
Yep.
That was an absolute disaster.
Okay.
They weren't trained for the situation. They made
Right.
it 100 times worse.
Wow.
Yesterday, I discovered that I was being recorded and tracked by my partner, which left me feeling incredibly
How was he doing that?
through the camera in the car.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. That in your car?
It's actually his car. It's registered to him,
Okay.
but it's the family car.
Yeah.
I abandoned that car yesterday in Camara,
Okay.
and DV support got me up here to some
Excellent.
safety. Last night, a officer by the name of Mel, she gave her call signal as Golf November 403 contacted me.
Yep.
She demanded to know my location owing to a missing persons report, so she claimed. After I pushed her back a few times, I reluctantly gave her this address.
Okay.
I don't know the address. I gave her what I saw on that cup,
Yep.
which is the Oxley Motor Inn,
Yep.
and the room number.
Okay.
She told me police officers would be coming to see me. Nobody arrived. I waited up most of the night for somebody to come,
Okay.
and I could really do with some sleep right now.
Right, fair enough.
This morning, I was contacted by another police officer, also female. I can't tell you what her name was.
Okay.
She was extremely hostile. She demanded to know my location again. She stated that the officers were downstairs of the address. I explained that was impossible because I was on the ground floor. I asked her for the address that she had gone to or been sent the officers to. She gave an address of, I think, 9 Crystal Street. I explained I was not at that location. She asked me for my location. I said I was obviously reluctant to give that again, and that if you were the same people that phoned me last night, you have it already. So I gave her again the name on the cup, and I said I refuse to give you my room number, but I'm more than happy for you to come to meet me in reception to check on the welfare of the children and myself and have any discussion that you wish. I then phoned 000 because that call made me feel very uncomfortable, and I requested DV support intervention during this conversation. They hung up on me.
Oh, right. After 000 call?
Correct.
They didn't forward you to another number?
It's all on, everything's recorded. I have no concerns.
Alright.
So, you
Nova,
mentioned,
darling, be careful. Be careful, my sweetheart. Be careful.
Yeah, don't stand on there, that might break and you might fall over.
I know you're thirsty. My daughter here is extremely autistic.
Okay.
She finds any change of circumstances
Confronting, yeah.
extremely distressing. She is extremely distressed. I just want to go home, to be honest with you, with my
Okay.
children,
Yeah.
especially her, so that she can calm down
Yep.
a bit. She also has extremely specific dietary requirements, none of which are being fulfilled. This is the only thing I have to give her now
Right.
for the entire day. I don't have money, I have no access to money, I have no transport, and I have one nappy left each for them. So I'm in a
Have you
pretty
contacted
diabolical
DV
situation.
Connected?
I'm
Obviously have to
desperately,
get you here. Are
desperately
they
trying.
arranging?
I don't
Normally
know.
they would
I'm
arrange-
reaching out,
Yep.
and I'm hitting.
So the people that
walls.
put you up in here,
Yes.
that was DV Connect?
Correct.
Yeah, so generally they would supply you with like nappies or anything.
You'd hope so.
Food.
As
They
it goes
haven't?
right now, I have nothing.
have you spoken to them this morning?
I've spoken to them just now, further to the phone calls that I received from the police.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they were police.
Yeah, I'd say it would be, but if they're from the Gold Coast Police, they probably don't know the area. I
Maybe,
guess.
and then obviously further to 000, I was very concerned, and I've made contact with them, and I've just sent them an email expressing the situation I've just outlined to you, that I have no resources.
Yep.
So, you mentioned you're escaping a DV situation,
Yes.
and your ex-partner was recording you in the car.
Yes.
What other domestic violence incidences have occurred?
For 11 years, he's
Yeah.
beat me black and blue and dominated my entire life.
Yeah.
Everything, on every level you could imagine, he's dominated my entire life.
How has he dominated your life?
Everything, financially, who I can speak to, who I can't speak to, where I can go, how much money I can have every day,
Yeah.
what I can and can't say, everything, every level,
All right.
physically, emotionally, financially,
Yeah.
everything, absolutely everything,
And you mentioned he's beaten you black and blue.
absolutely.
Have you ever reported this to a doctor, to
No.
a hospital, to
No.
a friend?
No, not until about 3 months ago when I first started to say, I need some help, I can't do this anymore, and that was because he's then beginning to beat my daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. Were they ever taken to the doctor? And
No, but there is an incident, and there should be one on record, whereby we were at a paediatrician in Sydney some 6, maybe 12 months ago. Timescales are a little bit foggy for me right now.
Yeah.
And my daughter was having her annual checkup for her autism assessment, and he struck my daughter in front of the paediatrician.
Right. What did the paediatrician do?
She looked pretty horrified,
Yeah.
and so did I.
Okay.
And I don't know if there was any recording of that, reporting of that, or anything.
New South Wales police never took up with you
No,
in regards to that?
recently she has had extremely bad sleeping patterns, as have I, and I've been taking to driving her around
Yep.
to get her back to sleep in the middle of the night. You know how you do.
Yep.
Kind of make a rod for your own back in that regard, but at least it gets her back to sleep again.
Gotta do what works.
You can't have butter, my lovey. You can't have butter. Let me get you something in just a moment, okay? Hold on a second. Have a little cracker while you wait, and then Mummy will get you some pasta in just a second. Sorry, what was the question?
Do you recall the name of that paediatrician?
Yes, her name is Phyllis Bagopa. She's you can easily Google her. I'm trying to think of the name of the centre off the top of my head, but I can't recall it right now. But she's a registered paediatrician.
What part of Sydney do you
Hills
recall?
Paediatrics comes to mind.
Okay.
Hills Paediatrics. That sounds about right.
Where did you live in Sydney?
A place called Kellyville.
Yeah.
Unit 5 of 8, Hillview Road in Kellyville Ridge.
And sorry, your husband's name, what was his name?
Is Justin, Justin, and his surname is Eaton, Eaton.
So you said before you've been married for 11 years?
No, we've been married for nearly 8. We got married in 2013, January.
Okay.
We've been together for 11 years,
Okay.
just over 11 years. We met in August 2009.
Okay.
So sorry, what was the doctor's name?
Bagopa. So I think it's a difficult one. She's of African descent, so it's a difficult name. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but I think it's Bagop for Papa, A for Alpha, Bagopa.
As you said, we can Google it. Google's pretty handy to
Yeah,
correct
exactly.
your spelling.
Yeah.
Alright.
So what was the incident that led you to be coming up here? Was it just accumulation of everything?
It's
or
a
is there
lot of
something
things.
recent
Yeah,
that has
it's
happened?
accumulation of a lot of things. A couple of days ago, he was jabbing at my face with a plate in his hand. There's knives hidden all around the house. He's clearly been trying to, as unbeknownst to me, because my head doesn't work that way, but he's been trying to set me up for some sort of mental health situation, from what I can work out, from what's been unravelling over the last few days.
Yeah.
And then yesterday I found out I was being surveilled and recorded.
Okay. And so whereabouts was the camera? Was it in the car, was it?
Yeah, he on I think Sunday I went to Southport Police Station, and a young lady came with me. And she, on the way back, she noticed that the camera in the car was switched on, and so was the mic, and I didn't even know how to use it, let alone that it was even working or doing anything. And she said that I should desperately try and work out.
So was that
how
a dash
to use
camera,
it.
or was
Correct.
it facing back into the
I
car?
don't know. I don't know if it does both ways or whatever, but it has a microphone on it,
Yeah.
and it definitely aims outwards.
Yeah.
Whether it aims inwards as well, I really don't know. And she said to be aware of that. and I wasn't aware of it. So I tried to find the manual
Yep.
for it so that I could investigate it a bit further. I didn't get very far on that. When I was on the phone yesterday morning to Sam at DV Connect, during our conversation, I just happened to fiddle again with the camera and pop out a memory card,
Yep.
which wasn't in there before because I had checked.
Right.
So I now knew that one had been put in there.
Okay.
I don't know if one had been put in and taken out previously to that, but I know that there wasn't one in there on the Sunday, from what I could work out, but there was certainly one in there yesterday.
Okay.
I took the memory card out, and on her instructions I scratched the back of that memory card.
Okay.
I then put the memory card back into the camera,
Yep.
hoping that it would then not be usable anymore. I came back home
Yep.
under the guise of needing to get some fresh clothes for the children. I did do that, but I grabbed as much as I could very carefully. Took the children. I then noticed the card had gone.
Okay. In the car.
Correct. So during the time my husband had been out there to say hello to the children, to give them some milk, he'd removed the memory card that I had then scratched. So that then obviously makes it very clear to me that's exactly what he's been doing.
All right.
That makes me feel extremely unsafe,
Yep.
especially with his past behaviour.
How long have you guys been in Australia for?
We arrived here December 2015 into Melbourne, just maybe a day shy of Christmas.
Yeah. Alright. Were there any domestic violence issues reported?
None.
back in England?
I've never reported anything. He has been firmly under control. That does not mean though that I cannot provide evidence to that effect.
Have you evidence?
I do.
Yeah? What sort of
Yes.
evidence do you have?
I've got a very, very interesting exchange of text messages that he certainly admits to his behaviour. I have somewhere, if I can get home and get to any of my belongings,
Yep.
phones, which will have potentially pictures on them of previously where I had,
Injuries.
correct,
Yep.
and or that I had recorded an incident where he was being mentally abusive towards me.
Yeah.
I just have to find it, and as you can imagine, I've been in survival mode for an extremely long time. I barely have the time to do my daily function, let alone scratch around
Yeah.
to try and find evidence.
So I'm guessing you don't have any family here?
No
Back in
family,
the UK?
and he has me isolated from pretty much all my friends as well.
And as far as you're concerned, your relationship is over?
Oh my God.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my God. I want nothing to do with him.
Yep.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Does your ex-partner have family in Australia?
No. He does have a
You're both
friend.
English?
No, he's South African.
He's South
He
African.
has a friend that lives, I believe, in Surfers.
Alright.
And so have you got any information on that phone at all, or is it all that phone?
Yeah, I've got text messages. I can show you the
Yeah,
text
if we can have a
messages.
look at the text messages.
Of course, yeah.